What's up, guys? Week 12 recap right now. This week as most of you guys know, besides being the new year, just a lot of plays have been happening due to the hot sectors, and because of that, I've played 8 stocks, 8 trades, 4 of which were overnights. But what I don't want to go into every one of those because that'll take a long time. So I want to touch on my overall experience this week, which was just emotion. It was just emotion got in the way of a lot of things based off one trade that I found during the week. And I'm going to go through that trade and then how it affected my later on week. Because I started the week off, my first 3 trades were amazing. Amazing thoughts, ideas, plans to executions. Everything was good. So I just want to start here. First, SGMD. So I was trading this on this first panic that it had here. This was running up like many of the others, as you can see, and the other wheat stocks, they were still going up. So this was out of pattern on the third here. So every other of the sector was going up. So it had another green day. This one actually had its morning panic here, which got me interested to buy the dip. And I was seeing it all through here. We can see it's down to roughly 26 off of 43. So definitely it should be bouncing after a big panic. And I didn't get executed here. I wanted to get it at, I think, like 27 or maybe even 27.3. Didn't get executed, but then it did a funny thing. It came back down here. And that got me interested to buy, and I got actually in 0.28, so right in here on this second green candle. Normally, because this thing just tanked like 40%, it'll spike straight up. I thought this pullback was a gift, so again I thought it was spike straight up, but it didn't. So I was a little nervous in here. I didn't know what was happening, but I also knew that this 0.26 was holding up. I went pretty big here, and I saw it around here in 32s. For some weird reason, I thought that it could get to 34, which in hindsight, that was dumb. But even if I thought it through, 34 off of 26, that's a 8-cent increase. That's almost 30%. It's kind of too much. So I should have been locking in when it topped out here at 31. And then at least lock in like half or something. And then, I mean, as long as I have something locked in, I wouldn't mind getting out for the rest after it fails this spike. But I didn't. I actually saw unrealized I was up like $200 or something, and I got greedy. So this is the first emotion that kicked in. I ended up selling out here for a tiny loss. Lost like 0.3 of a penny, so nothing major. But seeing that unrealized and knowing that I was up a bit and taking a small loss, that's what started this week off. So that was my first trade here. And if we want to go back, this was my next trade. But as you can see, everything was running. So this is the day on the 3rd. And I was like, yes, all the other wheat stocks were massively overextended. And this one obviously is too. But this was the least one that I found. So I decided to take, based off of that SGMD and knowing that I was up and I had lost it all because I didn't lock in profits, I ended up chasing this because I thought it had another day. And so that day would have been in here. I was getting in at 151 right near the close. The reason I thought so also, because the daily chart is probably overextended, but what I was thinking about in the day, it spikes up, consolidates, and even it had a bounce here, consolidates, and then like I didn't even like this is a bounce, yes, but it's not a regular bounce because it's holding its highs. Most of the time after it'll bounce here, then it'll kind of taper down. But this was holding its gains, and it's up near its highs, so that's why I thought one, not as overextended. I mean, not as overextended as all the other stocks. So this one has room to run, being in this hot sector. Then a couple stupid things that happened. Trading on the west coast here. So I missed my alarm. As stupid as that sounds, I have 2 or 3 on, and I just missed it. Super dumb. I didn't even think about my position, because that would have motivated me to get up. But we had that bad news on the wheat sector with Jeff Sessions announcing some restrictions. I actually got pretty lucky because this wasn't overextended. It didn't come down 30-40%. It came down, 30 cents, which is really not too bad. And I was waking up in here, and I was getting out in the 122s. So, it still sent me back $150, but it could have been a lot worse. And it was good that I took the loss. It was good I had the loss, probably because I was chasing, and that was based on my emotion from SGMD. So then this added more to my kind of frustration. So I took another bad trade later on BUDZ, just trying to force something, even though I saw a lot of the other plays breaking out. So I figured BUDZ could, and it couldn't. So I actually cut that one pretty fast. But then I want to talk about my other trade. This was another overnight here, AMPE, and I just want to show you what I was seeing here. So I was trading it on the 4th, holding overnight. So I was trading it here, and the reasoning was, so I was taking my long right here, and you can see it's off of its highs by 3 days. So it had this upside down V here, which is a pretty bearish sign normally. So we can see the high is like 5, right? Comes down, huge tank day here, then spikes a bit, comes down again, and then comes down again. So here I'm thinking, okay, it should be bouncing. Also, if we want to look, 240, it's holding like 250, 240 support here. If we want to look back to some previous days, that's too much. 240, 250, we see this 240, 250 that has support on. And also, I was looking at this day for more of my risk setting, which I was looking to be also in like 240s to 230s down here. So that was what I was using for risking. So I have a couple things going for me right now on this over here. I have, it's massively underextended without a bounce. So it's due for a bounce, and 2, it's on support, and it's basing. So that looked good to me. So I got in at the close right here at 252. I was a little, I'm always scared watching after hours, because even though it's traded somewhat thinly, it can still move. And so after hours wasn't too bad, but come pre-market, that's what scared me here. So originally I was risking off that 41. But then looking back, there was obviously a lot more support in the 30s, and it was on low volume and pre-market, so I wasn't super scared. I was trading a couple thousands or 1,000 sometimes a minute. It got me nervous because I was in with pretty big size for my account. And if we just look at the open, so I actually held into the open because I wanted to see what I was going to do. Because again, I'm looking at all these indicators, and I'm like, it needs to bounce. It has to bounce. It should bounce. It's market can't move dramatically in one direction without changing of directions. So if we look, first minute, it was around my risk level, around the 240s. Remember I was saying, and then it wasn't really doing much. Here you can see the volume went down massively. Then on this candle you can see red volume bar, and it was headed back down down here. So actually I got out at 238. So right here turned out to be, by seeing this, getting scared, watching it, having guts to hold into the open, and then not seeing any volume take off, and even then coming back down, I got out and I was happy to get out. Turns out next minute it gets its volume and it starts ramping up. I would have been out here being so scared in here, but again, it's easy to say now. And then again it curls and goes up to reach a high of 290. pretty frustrating, I'll say. So that was my first frustration. Then the next day, on the 5th, I get some more frustration here. Same kind of thing with this one. You can see it's off of its highs, around 10-ish, comes down, bounces, and comes down again. But this is what got me interested again, was this fast, quick panic from the 750s down to the 615s. So on the 5th, I'm seeing this. It's this day, and it's down here. There's some support around here. But I mean, when these types of plays bounce, they bounce really quickly. So there's more of a timing thing on when I can catch it to ride it back up. And I got in here at 620. I think it was this candle. And I was looking at here, seeing it, and I was like, this is some weird price action on a number, or when this thing just plummets in the morning. It normally has a bounce up, or it doesn't stay leveled. It doesn't have sideways price action. I've never seen that before after a big move like this. And in at 720, I didn't know. I was confused. And then when I see it's downtrending here, I got out at what, 608 or 9. My original risk was 6 just because it's an even number, but I didn't like this here. And I got out pretty well. Again, this was the frustrating part. It did go down, but only another 30 cents off of my 6th level. And then again, it ramps back up. And it goes actually till 720, another $1 off my buy. I don't really understand how this works in terms of buyers and sellers, and why, if it's basing here, why these shorts and stuff that banked wouldn't be, I don't know, and I also didn't know why I corrected support and then only went down 30 cents. It was pretty frustrating, but to end my week, I'm down quite a bit in dollar amounts, but I think that sloppiness really is causing me to, and it's good that's weakening because it's causing me to reevaluate and kind of get redisciplined on what I'm going to be trading, which I'm going to be sticking exactly to my plan. I'm not going to be trading anything that doesn't fit my bounce plays. Especially if something's running, I'm not going to be chasing it. I'm just going to be waiting until my setup is there, and then trade when I know. And going to try to stay consistent onward. A pretty big sloppy week for the 1st of January, but hopefully next week can be more disciplined and get back on track. Hopefully you guys are doing well with this momentum, and good luck to everyone tomorrow.